Deceit 2 will soon be going free to play. Just about over a week ago, the devs for the game announced that after much feedback from the community, that going free to play should be the next move. While we do not have an exact date at the moment, we do know that they plan to launch this update alongside the release of their first DLC, which involves the Wurgen, or Werewolf Terror, and the Project Wurgen map. This should be sometime in the first quarter of the year. Those who have previously purchased the game in the past few months will be rewarded for their early support. Anyone who has bought or buys the game before the free-to-play update will get the first DLC for free, as well as an equal amount of in-game currency to match the current purchase price, which is about $10 at the moment. And real quick, for any of you out there who don't currently own the game and may be waiting for the free-to-play release, I'm going to be holding a giveaway for some Deceit 2 codes that were given to me from the devs. This means that you will be getting the free DLC and in-game currency whenever the game launches the free-to-play update. The only thing you have to do is join my Discord, which will be in the description, and click this button to join. As I said earlier, Deceit 2's first DLC will be dropping on the same day as the free-to-play update. The main focus is the Werewolf Terror and the Project Wurgen map. Some of the content of the DLC will only be playable for those who own the DLC, but I'm not 100% sure whether or not the map will be available for everyone to queue into, as the official wording is some content will only be playable if you own the new DLC, but free-to-play players will be able to matchmake. I am sure they will clarify this closer to the DLC release. We also don't have a lot of information on the Werewolf Terror, actually pretty much no information other than its concept art, but we do have a lot of images of the new map that should be going on screen here. It is supposed to be some scientific facility that reminds me of Deceit 1's Arctic map, just like how Deceit 2's current asylum map is partially based on Deceit 1's asylum map. It is also supposed to have an outdoors area, which will be very nice and a good change of pace from the asylum that we have now. So really quick, we did just get some new information about roles that are going to be coming up pretty soon. I assume it'll be talked about more in their roadmap in a few days. But they have shown that we're going to be getting corrupted roles now, which is basically like a neutral role in other social deductions, as well as some ideas for new innocent roles. There's probably more you can read about in the Discord here, which should just be discord.gg/deceit. They have announced that all innocent powers will be available by default, and then one curse and one terror is available by default. That one terror is going to be the experiment terror, and the one curse is meant to be the mimic. And before I go back to what I recorded previously, James, one of the developers, wanted to chime in a little bit on this role discussion. The idea with Deceit 2 roles is to strike a balance so it's not crazy complicated, like a social deduction game like Town of Salem, which you might need to play a lot to understand what all the roles do and how many there are, as the idea is to have basically just like one extra role, one corrupted, one neutral, along with some innocent roles that don't do as much, and then of course you have the two infected. It's not going to be a bunch of neutral roles every single game, and then two innocents are going to have roles like Warden or Guardian. And lastly, of course, there will be more on the roadmap, but right now they plan the Mimic, Inquisitor, and Plague Bearer will probably come first alongside the Werewolf DLC. The Inquisitor being an innocent that can see the amount of each item that's been purchased and see how long ago blood was triggered, which would remove the report feature from everyone in a game with the Inquisitor, I believe. The Mimic is one of the corrupted roles. It means after 3 players die, you can choose a dead player and take their role. The corrupted role is going to be one of those that you'll be able to have by default. And Plague Bearer is another one, which is very interesting and could be OP if they don't implement it correctly. Each phase you give the plague to someone, which will block their role in that day or night. Someone who hasn't got it yet, right? Like, say you block the Guardian, they can't protect someone in that day. Or if you plague someone at night and they're infected, they can't transform, I assume. If all remaining players have the plague, there's a warning and you become the Rapture. And at that stage, you basically win. But once you're the Rapture, you walk around, and if you see someone, they instantly are eliminated. So players will know that they are plagued, but they don't know who Plague Bearer or Rapture is. This will be very interesting. I'm hoping that they can implement it correctly in a fair way. I guess this would be effectively like, instead of in Town of Salem, when Plague Bearer turns into Pestilence, it's like Plague Bearer turning into Death. So we will see whenever the DLC comes out. Now, one of the big questions for Deceit 2 is where is console release? And will it also be free on console? Now, the devs have stated in the new post about all the free-to-play news, as well as in a frequently asked questions channel on their Discord, that when the game is released on console, which is PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, that it will be launching free-to-play. Now, based on the wording that they have used, the console update wouldn't be coming before the free-to-play update at least. And I feel like the way it is worded also tells me that the console update will not be at the same time as the free-to-play update either. It would be quite crazy, in my opinion, to make the game free-to-play, add a new terror and map, and release the game on console all at the same time. I believe that means that we'll likely be getting console a little later than whenever they make the game free-to-play, so we can hope for some more news in the future about that. And we may not have to wait long. That is because on the 30th of January, the devs will be announcing the details of their roadmap that will outline what they plan to add over the course of this year. This will include more content, including more roles, maps, and terrors, and that does say maps and terrors in plural, smoother pacing of gameplay, alongside immersive atmosphere, improved visuals and animations, optimizations, rebalancing of some over or under-tuned items and mutations, and new in-game rewards and progression, which I'm most looking forward to, as there's not really a lot of meaningful progression in the game at the moment. Now, before a lot of this is added, Deceit 2 will continue to get updates and improvements based on community feedback. They have already released a hefty balancing and pacing update as of a couple of days ago while I'm recording this, and more of these polishing updates will be coming as they prepare for the free-to-play release. And now, as we come to a close for the upcoming Deceit 2 news, if you are still here and haven't played the game before, or only played closer to release and are not familiar with all the changes that have happened since then, I am hoping to help out with that. I do have a How to Play Deceit 2 video up on my channel right now, but that was made before the game even came out and was based on pre-release gameplay and knowledge and may not be completely correct for some aspects. It is still mostly correct, and some things have changed only a little bit, but I am still going to make an updated one. I'm not sure when it will come out, but I hope to get it out a little bit after the free-to-play update comes out to make sure I'm completely up to date when making it, as I expect them to add more features, and I want to include the new DLC with the map and terror. This is still to be confirmed though, as I haven't started working on it yet. And well, that is just about all the information that I have for you today regarding Deceit 2's updates in the near future. More will be coming in just a few days whenever they release their roadmap, but until then, if you enjoyed and are excited to see more content of mine involving Deceit 2, I recommend subscribing. I have already made a ton of gameplay videos for the game and will continue to do so, along with informative videos like this one. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.
Once held high up in heaven's own nest, I was sent back down and disturbed in my rest. Rebel bullets rained down.